Alright, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Kodash. Double honors to apostles and elders of GMS, to the elect doing the work in sincerity and in truth, shalawam. GMS precepts here in Nazar Khud. And real quick, I have this Second Peter's pulled up here, and I want to say this first before I start. You know, as you can see, the title, it says "The Coming Day of the Lord." Now, this is a hot topic for me. This is something that I always go into, and not only me, anybody concerned with the return of the Lord, right? Because that should be your number one concern. That should be our number one concern, when the Lord is going to return, right? Because when the Lord returns, is going to be a big event, right? I mean, I was just thinking about this before I started this video. When you think about it, if there are two in the whole in human history, there are two major events, right? That's when the Lord comes on the scene, is through the loins of David, right, all the way down to his father Joseph and his mother Mary, because he had a natural birth, and he's on the scene and he does his ministry, okay, and he takes on the sins of the nation of Israel. That's the first event, major event, right? Going back to, what is that? In Deuteronomy, it speaks about the Lord, and it didn't happen until Matthew's the first chapter, until the New Testament. That's when he finally came on the scene. But if you go to book of Isaiah, it speaks about the Lord, it speaks about Yahawashi. And the second major event is the coming of the Lord, the return of the Lord. When the Lord returns to take down the powers that be, Esau, Edom, as well as all the other nations, as well as delivering the elect, a small remnant of the nation of Israel, in a fashion that's going to be world renowned, that's going to be spoken about throughout history, that's going to not trump, but be great. Well, yeah, it's going to be greater than the deliverance in Exodus, right? When the Israelites were delivered out of bondage in Egypt, or out of Egypt, right? So that should be a concern of anybody that's a follower of who the world ignorantly calls Christ. When is the Lord coming? And what's going to happen prior to his return, right? So this is one of them, describing what's going to happen prior to the Lord's return. This is 2 Peter's the third chapter. 2 Peter's 3:3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days, so that's a big clue, in the last days, scoffers walking after their own lusts, right? Going to that word lust, it means it's what is it? A forbidden act, right? An evil act. Let me see. Let's go into the blue letter here and look up the word lust. It says desire, craving, longing, desire for what is forbidden, right? Desire for what is forbidden. Okay? So that's our people. That's the people on this. That's everybody, man. You're gonna have scoffers, right? And people walking after their own lusts, very into themselves and and they get that from the powers that be, right? They tell you here in America, they have the motto or the mantra, "Do as I wilt," right? Which is what? Do whatever feels good. What is that? Hedonism, right? Do whatever feels good. I mean, the whole thing of, you got selfies. How vain is that? Like lusting after your own selves, right? But that's the world we live in, man. So that's another major sign. You're gonna have people, scoffers, scoffing against the truth, scoffing against our heritage, scoffing against the Lord. Okay, scoffing against the prophets, and you're gonna have people walking after their own lust. So like I said, these are just clues. one concern or major concern of everybody that's a follower of the Lord should be, when is he coming, man? Right? That's the same thing that the prophets did, or the disciples did in Acts, the first chapter. When he returned, he asked them, will thou now restore the kingdom to Israel? Right? They didn't understand a lot of prophecy had to be fulfilled first. Right? Like it says in Thessalonians, they shall be a falling away first, and then the end shall come. So a lot of things have to happen. Reading on 3 and 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? Right? And that's what scoffers say. Yeah, when is the prophet of it? When is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. Meaning, that's what niggas are gonna say. That's what scoffers are gonna say. They're gonna say, oh well, they've been saying that for years. I mean, since I was born and my father's father was born, they've been saying the Lord is gonna return, but he's not here. Right? It says, since the fathers fell asleep or died or passed away, they've been saying this forever. The Lord's not coming. You see? It's just do what you want. Just go to college, raise a family. That's not the time we're living in. We're not the time of trying to raise a family. We're not in the time of trying to go to college and progress in the society. It's already determined. If you have your eyes, if you can see this society is on a downward spiral very, very fast. Okay? For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High the heavens were of old, and earth standing out of the water and in the water, meaning this is speaking about the creation. Okay? This is speaking about when the world was created. Right? Because it was created, like it tells you in Genesis, the first chapter, when the water was divided. Okay? Because air, uh, you know, um, uh, when the atmosphere was created, also the air that we breathe, it's water, right? You got a thing called a barometer, which is it measures the dew. It measures the moisture in the air. There's actually moisture in the air. So when it says standing out of the water and into the water, that's speaking about the creation. Okay, verse 6, it says, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, what? Perished. And that's what happened during the flood. This is speaking about the flood now. Okay, so that was the first destruction, and this was all done by the word of the Most High. Okay, it says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, meaning it's the earth now by the word of the Most High, right? Then it was created, and then it was destroyed during the flood by the word of the Most High. But now the same word is kept in store, right? Kept in store what? The earth, right? It tells you, what is that in Revelation, the 7th chapter, that the Lord is reserving or holding back the four winds of the earth, meaning he's holding back that destruction. Okay, so it's saying by it kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Right? Meaning what? The Most High is reserving and restoring this earth you see now, only to reserve the fire, which are those ICBM missiles, to take down the powers that be that are ruling today. By the same word, it says. Okay? But beloved, be not ignorant, and it goes into the time difference. I can still read it. It says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. Now we all know this also shows, speaking about the creation. We know it wasn't 7 days. It was or 6 days. It was actually one day was 1,000 years. So it's just going into the time difference in the spiritual world and here on earth. Okay. Now, yeah. So these are the things that are going to take place when the Lord returns, man. The Lord is going to reserve the earth and reserve it until that ultimate judgment is going to hit the scene when the Lord returns. And he's going to destroy it by fires. He destroyed it by water the first time. The second time he's going to destroy not the earth. I shouldn't. He's not going to destroy the earth. He's going to destroy a lot of it. Okay? But in doing so, he's going to what? Take out the powers that be, which is Esau, Edom. He's going to take them out of rulership. Okay? All right, so that's pretty much it. Lord willing, brothers and sisters are edified. Until the next show, shalawam.